Don in London, hello. It's August 29th, bank holiday weekend 2009, and my video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. To be clear, my substance of addiction was alcohol. Could have been drugs, but I was too scared to go there, I think. And if I wasn't drinking, I'd be workaholic, and if I wasn't doing that, I'd be in a relationship over the top and never knowing how to end them, but always able to start them. These are terrible admissions, really, but they're not. It's just part of the obsessive personality. Somebody who was fearful, putting on a brave face, and had a very brittle ego. And if you smashed my ego, there was no self-confidence there, no courage, faith or confidence to speak of. And these days I get to know whether I'm putting on a brave face, fearing something, with ego attached. You know, it's like putting out, keeping people at a distance by saying I'm okay, I'm fine, when I'm not. So the deal for me is live in the day, find a bit of courage, faith and confidence, and try and speak the truth of now. And what helps me? Family, community, society, professionals, and a fellowship of ordinary people with this one particular malady, and that's addiction. So for me, being alcohol, my addiction in the past, and I stay in recovery one day at a time, I go to Alcoholics Anonymous, which is simply a fellowship. It's not an organisation. It cannot fix you. It can help you find a path to live well with a bit of courage, faith and confidence in what you believe is your path on a daily basis. And it's about being open, honest and willing. And fellowship, well, it's a fellowship, so you're going to meet people in their ordinary state, and that could be anxious, fearful, it could be joyful, sad, it could be happy, unhappy, it could be people full of fear, guilt, shame, remorse, you name it. We are a collective of people just like any other, getting together to talk about the truth. And through expression of truth, we get to understand who we are. So a fundamental of the program, Alcoholics Anonymous, the fellowship, is that Anonymous gives us the opportunity to find out what the truth is about ourselves and learn, experience, strength and hope from other people. And anonymity has become, I don't know, I'm always very careful here. People choose how they wish to run their sobriety. It's a self-healing fellowship, but we use our unique, authentic way or path. We have this one similarity and a common goal, sober today. And how a person runs their sobriety is indeed their own way, unique and authentic. So for me, into sobriety, anonymity didn't really become an issue for me, because I felt it was better people knew who I was and where I was coming from, so that they either choose to be a part of or not a part of my life. And that way, it cuts out a lot of the social crap that goes on about putting on a brave face or, you know, hiding our true selves from other people. So that's just my personal journey, and I have no stigma about my addiction anymore. I actually lost the stigma about my addiction when I realised I had one. So that we can debate till the cows come home. But the most important message for me is all about how does recovery work and how do people stay sober. And that's the reason why I do these videos. And when I share the daily reflection today, it talks about anonymity. But if you go to AA, this statement is said at the beginning, and I know I'm 3 minutes in, but here it goes. A statement of intent on a daily basis. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women, ordinary men and women, who share their experience, strength and hope, what's happened to them, where they are now, and what they hope to happen, maybe just for today, with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism on a daily basis. The only requirement for membership is a desire not to drink, and that's a desire not to drink today, or as it says here, to stop drinking on a daily basis. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. In other words, if you're poor, you don't have to contribute at all. It's up to you. And if you're rich, you don't have to contribute at all either. It's what you choose to do. There are no dues or fees, as I say. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. So we do need a little bit of money for rent, tea, coffee and literature, and a few things to do with making books and stuff like that. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, and certainly not my videos. So this is my enterprise, my useful thing to do, if you like, for now. Does not wish to engage in any controversy neither endorses nor opposes any causes. In other words, it's still simply about not drinking or stopping drinking on a daily basis. So our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And for some reason, this week and this month, there have been loads and loads of new people coming into the meetings of AA. Don't know why. Maybe it's the time of year, gone on holiday, overdone it, or just realised, hang on a minute, I'm in a rut and I can't get out of it on my own. What am I going to do? And even the professionals say, why don't you try AA? They seem to know one or two things about keeping sober. Good. And, AA is not for everybody, and nor is rehab. Rehab nearly killed me. And the reason why it nearly killed me, because they let me access my rage, and then they didn't have enough time to put it back in the box, or let me express it and get it out and be a more sensible person without a load of baggage. You can't save the world in 90 days. No, you can't. We can't solve society's problems in 90 days. It takes, I don't know, centuries maybe. But August 29th, it says here, I choose anonymity. And I fundamentally believe in anonymity, but not for the reasons here, but here we go. We are sure that humility, expressed by anonymity, is the greatest safeguard that Alcoholics Anonymous can ever have. In other words, there is no person who comes before or speaks for AA. I don't. But I share how it helps me. And that's not me being egotistical, it's me sharing that it's okay to be me. Since there are no rules in AA, and that's absolutely fundamental, there are no rules in AA, nobody can tell you what to do, that's tradition one. I place myself where I want to be, and so I choose anonymity. And I support anonymity. I don't choose it. I want my God to use me humbly as one of his tools in this program. Well, humbly doesn't mean you've got to be anonymous. It's a wrong connection for me. But my humility is, I will get brickbats thrown at me by AA people sometimes, and brickbats thrown at me by people who feel that AA has cheated them in some way. So, as one of his tools in this program, sacrifice is the art of giving of myself freely, which I do here and in meetings and anywhere I go, because unity, service and recovery are part of my program. And it goes on, yes, of giving of myself freely, allowing humility to replace my ego. With sobriety, I suppress that urge to cry out to the world, I am a member of AA, and I experience inner joy and peace. Well, actually, that could be self-satisfied, egotistical crap. I let people see the changes in me and hope they will ask what happened to me, as has often happened in Sainsbury's car park, where I did a 12-step. I helped somebody into the fellowship from Sainsbury's. Not Sainsbury's the company, but just from Sainsbury's in their car park. I place the principles of spirituality ahead of my judging. Spirituality for me is living in the real world, right now, right here. And I try not to judge, I fault find, and I try not to criticise. I want love and caring in my group so I can grow. And I belong to so many groups, or I don't belong to any group, I don't know. Depends on your outlook. But the point here, anonymity, is it gives us a place to express our truth. And once we find out what the truth is, we follow our path. And as Bill sees it, the spiritual alibi, it sounds like good, and I don't know if we've got time for this, but our first attempts at inventories are apt to prove very unrealistic. This is about step 4. I'm going to do that on a different day because it's quite a long reading. So, what about me and anonymity? Well, people don't approach me if they feel that I'm less than, because I'm a recovering alcoholic. And I don't particularly want to work for people who would judge me badly if they found out. Because people do find out, and they know, why are you bright-eyed and why don't you have rings under your eyes like the rest of us? And the simple answer is, I don't drink on a daily basis. And, the true humility is to speak our truth wherever it happens to be. And that is a gift from God, for me. And when I say God, the serenity prayer to God, or good conscience, or the person of your understanding who is your higher power, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and for today, the wisdom to know the difference. May it always be so.